Hello and welcome back, and we are going to continue our exploration on phase animation using PhaseAnimator in this last example, and we're going to basically look at some of the additions that have been done that makes the development, the overall development for iOS even better. Okay, so first of all, I've got the XE asset folder open, and as you can see, I have some pictures that I've loaded, and in this part we are going to actually create a quick picture carousel, like, not sort of a carousel, but it's more like a slideshow using the PhaseAnimator. But I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that have been introduced in Xcode 15 and SwiftUI 5, which actually makes few things even better and easier to use. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I've got these 6 pictures that we're going to use for this demo, and what we're going to do is we are going to create a variable. Okay, so we're going to create a variable called photo collection. And usually when you access your XE asset images, you have to basically provide a string literal and provide basically the value that the name of the file that you want to access. Now, starting iOS 15, starting Xcode 15 and iOS 17, there is a new type that has been introduced, and it is called image resource. And image resource, actually, let me see, image resource. Yeah, image resource is a type that actually helps you access those files using an enum value. So now with the help of image resource, and since I'm creating this collection as a collection of image resource, I can simply put a dot and find all the images that are available inside the XE assets folder. Okay, so as you can see, we have 6 images, and we are not creating any custom enum. Xcode is doing that for us, and it is actually creating that with a type image resource. And we can simply select those, and we can say we want all these pictures. And just like that, we have basically all the images that are located inside the XE asset inside our photo collection. Okay, now we are going to leave the animate flag as is, because we're going to use this to provide the animation. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a Z stack. Okay, inside this Z stack, we're going to add a PhaseAnimator with phases. Okay, and phases, since it takes any type of collection, and because our photo collection is technically a collection of image resource, we can very well just use that collection directly. So we can say photo collection is the sequence that we're going to use inside this PhaseAnimator, and we get access to everything that we need in order to basically create this experience. Now we are also going to add the trigger, which is going to be the animate flag, and animate flag is going to work as a trigger for our animation, and we get access to individual photo resource. So we actually get the individual photo resource access, and we can use this directly inside the image. And we can do that by simply creating image, and where we pass a name literal for the image that we're trying to access for XE inside the XE asset, we are simply going to pass our photo resource, and our image is gonna be created that way. Okay. Now let me go ahead and run the demo, and let's see, it's actually throwing some error. So let's go ahead and put the resize and try it again. By the way, we are using Xcode beta 2 at this moment, because that is the latest Xcode version that is out. So Xcode 15 beta 2 is what we are using, but I don't expect many changes to happen as the Xcode or the Apple makes actually more improvements and getting ready for the golden master. Okay, but if there is any, we'll actually be sure to post an update on that. All right, the preview is gonna take a little bit longer, so let's go ahead and all right, I was gonna pause the video, but we have the preview loaded. So what we're gonna do is, as you can see, our image is now being loaded, and if I look at the first image that we have for the picture one, this is the image that we are actually seeing inside our preview. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and add a few more modifiers so the image is a little bit better visible. We're gonna say scale to fill. Okay, and we are also going to ask it to ignore the safe area, so our image can basically expand beyond the top and the bottom safe areas. Okay, so as you can see, now our image is stretched to cover the entire screen, and we can now provide the animation block, and this is where we actually get access to individual phase. We don't really need the phases, so we're gonna leave it as underscore for the parameter, and we're gonna say the animation is gonna be the snappy animation. Okay, and we will attach on tap gesture recognizer on this, and we want to animate, we want to toggle the animate variable. Okay, now one thing I want to show at the top of this is basically some sort of message. So we're going to use TFTechie name as a view that sits on the top, and I'll actually show you another cool new shape that has been introduced, which I'm pretty sure you're gonna love, because I actually love it. Okay, so we're gonna create a text called devtechie.com, and we're gonna make this font as large title, and let's go ahead and give it a frame, and for the width we're gonna say it's gonna be width of 300 and height of 200. Let's go ahead and check it out, how it looks. All right, so we have something showing up here, and we can actually set a background, and this time around background we're gonna set as ultra thin material, and this is what our view is gonna look like. Now this is our good old rectangular shape that's been by default applied, which is basically the type of rectangle is basically the base for all the views. So we can actually update this, and we can clip the shape to clip shape to something that is recently introduced. It's called rect with corner red eye. Okay, so basically this is where you can actually define a corner radius for your rectangle. Now the cool part is it actually takes a rounded, it takes individual corner radius into consideration. For example, this one, and we can say top leading radius, we want to actually update that to 10, and or let's update it to 20, and bottom trailing radius to 20 as well, to make this kind of like a leaf effect. And I think 20 is a bit less. Let's go ahead and make it more dramatic and put it 100, and that actually makes your rectangle look much more cooler. It's almost like a leaf. That's what it looks like. And this is how you can actually create a rounded corner, individually rounded corner rectangles. And there is a new shape, and the shape is called uneven rectangle. So let's go ahead and just type it out. So uneven rounded rectangle, which takes the same parameter, corner red eye, and essentially you can set your top, leading, trailing, and all the edges individually to a certain radius that you want to set to, and that particular corner actually takes the rounded rectangle shape. Okay, all right, so we can set the preferred color scheme to dark. Okay, so our basically our background basically takes that into consideration, and our font color takes, like, the color scheme has consideration as well. And with that, like, our view is actually pretty much ready. Now all we need to do is play the animation. So we're gonna tap, and as you can see, our animation is playing, and it is showing all the images. It's gonna cycle through and end at the last one. So you can use this technique to play a video if you have all the frames available, and you no longer have to include a video entity actually essentially as a background, which is a little bit more on the memory than this technique. All right, with that, we have reached the end of this video, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you.